Hello friends, and welcome to Echoes of Eden. On this channel, we're going to speak about family life. I'm your host, Andrew, and with me is my friend and family coach, Karibu Sana.
Thank you, Andrew. Hello, viewers. Welcome to Echoes of Eden. I'm your family coach, Gogi Samuel, and I want to take this chance to invite you and welcome you. We'll be discussing family issues to do with life, under the title Echoes of Eden.
Family coach,
Yes.
the question is, why Echoes of Eden?
We are talking about Echoes of Eden because we want to go back to the beginning. We want to go back to the origin. See, if you want to get it right, you go to the origin. And the origin of man is Eden. So we start from the Garden of Eden. And since you are not in Eden to hear the original voice, what we can pick are the echoes that are coming from Eden. And when we go now to Eden, we start picking about Eden right from in the original beginning, Eden before sin. Then we look at Eden when sin came in. We look at Eden after sin. And later on, we talk about Eden restored from eternity past to eternity in the future. What's God's idea of family? Because God who started family and life is God who gave us life. So the only true source of life is from God. And God started life in Eden. So we want to pick the echoes, the sounds that came from Eden, and then we see how we can look at life.
Okay. So from what I've heard from you, you said family started from Eden.
Yes.
So my question is, what is family?
Family, in a nutshell, is the existence of human being as a unit. We are looking at family here not from a perspective of just self or human being like you yourself alone. We are looking at family here as not about an individual, but when two individuals come together and then the products of the two individuals. Because family began in Eden with Adam and Eve. And then, as the Bible later on put it, that children are a heritage from the Lord, they also come and they join the family. And so it becomes a unit. So we are looking at family from there, where it started. And then how was God's ideal before sin? Then how did the sin affect us as a family? And then what are the expectations? So we are looking at that. And when we talk about family, we are talking about when individuals come together, the way God intended it to be, and the repercussions of that, and the way they are going to walk along that path.
Okay.
Yes.
So from my understanding, what
Yes.
you're saying is, when two people come together, they create a family.
Yes, they create a family.
So my other question is,
Yes.
is there a difference between family and family life?
Yes, a family is the two individuals when they come together.
Okay.
Now, as they continue living, now the family life is the issues they are going to face or the steps they are going to take from where the family begins, actually from the conceptualization that we want to form a family. You see, Andrew, as a young man, you reach a certain point where you think that you need a family. When you think you need a family, what do you do? Go looking for a companion or a person to start a family. And the steps you take will determine what kind of a family you will have. And then when you come together by marriage, you start a family.
Okay.
And then now the family grows where you will either have children, if the children are going to, and when they come, as you live, it's still part of family life. So family life is, as I have said, from Eden to Eden, or from beginning to end, the human existence. You started from a family because when you are born in a family.
Okay.
So you begin your family life at conception when you are born. But that was not your family. It was your dad's family or your mom's family. Then at a certain point, you come to a realization where you think you want to start your family. Then you get into the family. And then you continue. So human life is family life. I can say human life is family
It's
life.
family life.
Human life is family life. Yes.
So you've heard it, folks. There's a difference between family and family life. My other question is, I hear people out here talking about singlehood. They say it's a family. What's your take on that?
Good question, Ad. Singlehood, and we say single is a family. Looking at it as the beginning of the family. There is no family that starts as single. Because as an individual, you cannot start. God's way of doing things, you cannot start a family as an individual. Because for a family to be, two individuals must come together.
Okay.
And so because when you are living alone, you are like, for a man or a woman who is not married, the life he is living is a family life of the parents. And where you come, because we all come from a family.
Okay.
But then, you yourself, you cannot begin a family alone. Because God said it's not good for man to be alone. So you need a companion. You cannot have a child on your own. So when you come together, the two of you, you start a family. Now, because of many reasons, you may find at the end of the day, you are raising a family alone.
Okay.
And this is where you talk about single parent family. Either by design or whatever it is, it can be because of death, it can be because of separation, it can be because of dissertation. There are so many factors, and you call it family.
Okay.
But in the real sense, it is not a real family, because it's not in the original God's plan of, and that's why I'm talking about echoes of Eden. In Eden, there was no single parent. And let me even say it this way: where we come from, if you are to bring it home as Africans, in your own mother tongue, what do you call a single parent? You realize. Do you have a word for that you use for a single parent?
Widow?
Are you sure?
My mother tongue.
Yes. Tell me.
I don't know. I don't know.
In the African traditional society and in African languages, there is no word for a single parent.
Oh.
There is no word for a single parent. Go to anybody. Look at it. I'm a Kikuyu. There is no Kikuyu word for single. Ask in Kigusi, ask in Doru, ask in Kamba. There is no word for that. Because African traditional societies do not have any single parent.
Okay.
And I'm not only talking about African traditional societies, even in the Jewish culture, because when we talk about Eden, we are discussing things to do with Jewish culture, because Christianity borrows from Judaism. You know, if I ask you as a Christian, was Jesus a Christian? No. If somebody was to ask, was Jesus a Christian? You know, Jesus was born in the Jewish culture, and he practiced Judaism.
Okay.
He is the author of Christianity, which has come from Judaism. In Judaism, there was no single parent. Because even the Bible will put it, let a widow only be considered so if she is past 60 years. Before that, let her get remarried.
Okay.
In African traditional societies, we had issues of wife inheritance. So if your brother died and left a woman, she would be inherited. So they had no issue where one was a single parent. But because of many other changes that have come, today we have what we are calling single parent. And I'm not saying it's not sin to have a single family. There are many reasons why people are single, but I'm saying from Eden's side of view, it was not so. Okay. And it's a challenge, by the way, Andrew. That's a very good issue. Let me say this. And I know we'll have one day where we'll discuss about single parenthood and singles. Okay. Because these are creation of modernism, and the religion, which has created a crisis, which is even a crisis in the current church system that one cannot really handle. Because it was not in God's original plan. It was not supposed to be. We have it with us here. And so we cannot say it's not a family. It's a family, not in God's idea. But I believe that, I think you have raised an issue that I feel that we need one of these fine days to have it as a discussion where we have a topic that we are just discussing things.
Okay.
Yes.
Family coach.
Yes.
This topic about singlehood has got me rambling in my stomach.
Yes. Why are you?
Because I myself am single.
Yes.
And because of the challenges happening around our world right now,
yes,
I don't think it's fit for me to start a family.
Yeah.
So, someone like me.
You think it's not fit to start a family?
Yes. Yeah. Not only for me, but also for the viewers who are watching.
Yes.
What can you tell us? How can you advise us?
You see, the first thing is, always ask yourself, why is this being there? You see, if you are to ask yourself, why did God introduce family? And why family? before you say whether you feel you should have a family or not. Because if you get into something without the right reasons, then it becomes a problem. And also, why should there be a family? You see, for God to introduce a family, everything that God started was good. Why did God start family or introduce a family? Because, you need to know why family and why should a family exist. Number one, a human being, life revolves around 5 areas. There are 5 basic areas of life where human life revolves. Number one, it's social. Man is a social animal. And we are created as social beings. Family comes in to fill certain social vacuum.
Okay.
Because I know you have social friends. As a young man, you have your friends who you move around with and you socialize with.
Yes.
But will they be there for you? If today you are with your friends and you are riding a motorbike and you have an accident, you are doing a social activity, and you are admitted, God forbid, but you are in hospital. How many times will your friends come? One or twice. But for one with a family, if me, I'm admitted in hospital, you can rest assured my wife will be there all the time.
Okay.
Morning, lunch, and evening. She has a responsibility. So, and also, even I know there are times you go to social gatherings. Back when you go back home, your aunt is asking you, have you come around? Again, you have come around. Because socially, we are that way. Number two, life, human life, you are an emotional being.
Yes.
And you have emotional needs that your male friends cannot meet and they cannot connect with. Then, you are also a physical person. And as you develop physically, needs keep on changing.
Okay.
So as you mature, there will be sexual needs. How do you meet them? Unless you want to meet them outside the plan of God, and it will also bring challenges. Life is also economic. And even, when you are two hearts are better than one.
Okay.
Because any other partnership you form is not like a family partnership. Because if today with another boy you are going to join together with another man and buy a property and build a house, how do you share the house? So, and of course, we are also spiritual beings. So when you understand why do you start a family, those fears you are talking about, if I were to tell you why God introduced the family and the basic functions of a family, one, the first basic function of a family is to regulate the sexual access and activity.
Okay.
Very crucial. One day we are going to discuss sex and you realize how important it is. But it's only in family setup that you can regulate sexual activity and sex, where you have free access. Number two, it provides an orderly context for procreation. We don't create, it's God who creates, but we procreate by giving birth. And in a socially recognized way, it is only an orderly way for procreation is in a family setup. Number three, it nurtures and socializes children.
Okay.
It will surprise you to know that children who are brought up in a very stable family are socially and emotionally. So it is very important. Number four, of course, it ensures economic stability.
Okay.
Because I'll bring Unga, she will come with the stew, and life moves on. And then it assures you of your social status.
Ah, okay.
Very crucial, because in our society, there are things even your dad will never share with you until you have a family.
Oh. Okay.
So it also assures you of social status. So the fear that you have that families are failing, there are many single parents, and then you think that, that's an escapist idea to say that I will not start a family. Life is a risk. Let me tell you, life is a risk. Every day you board a vehicle. But you also know that every day people die from road accidents. Does that mean that you not board a vehicle? Every day you wake up, you risk, because you can even have an accident in the bathroom and you die. So will you remain in bed? Life is a risk. And for those who never take a risk, they never move. So you take a risk and you do it in a godly manner and trust that mine will work.
Okay.
And if it doesn't work, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. So you don't need to fear. Because God gave us family to teach us a few things. Number one, unconditional love. Because God's love is unconditional. Unconditional love is only in an ideal family. God gave us family to teach us perseverance and forgiveness.
Okay.
Because family only survives with perseverance and forgiveness. And finally, about life commitment. It's about life commitment. So you don't need to fear. All you need to say is, since it is life, when did you start saying, you have told me you are single. When did you start being single? Because when you were a child, were you single?
I know.
When you were growing up and you were in school, were you single?
Uh-huh.
At a certain point, you started defining yourself single, and then you started saying single and certain.
Okay.
Who told you you are single? Because when you are in Form 2, you are not calling yourself single. You are a child growing up in a family setup. In our society, it reaches a point where people start looking at you like you should have your own family.
Mm.
You remember that time that we had that famous program, Utahamarini, where your parents are looking at you and are wondering, when will this gentleman get out of this house? That's the time you start realizing you are single. And it's not only because the society is putting the pressure, even your body is demanding.
Okay.
This is the time that now you are fully into the opposite sex. And is a desire that is natural and that is not evil.
Okay.
It's only that sometimes I don't know what to say, but maybe as parents, sometimes as church, we talk of things that is God given and it's natural.
Okay.
As you developed as a man, you started developing beards and a broken voice. Now let me ask you, can you pray so that you don't have beards? Could your sister pray so that she doesn't develop the breast? Even if she was to fasting and prayers, can she not, can she, because of prayers, not receive her penance? Why?
Because it's natural.
Because those are hormones.
Okay.
And the hormones don't listen to prayer. There are many funny things that Christians do, and they have funny ways of saying just pray. Hormones do not listen to prayers.
Okay.
I can place my hands on you, I tell you to fast and pray, but your beards will grow. Because those are hormones. I can pray over a girl and pray and fast, but her periods will come because those are hormones, and the hormones don't listen to prayers.
Okay.
And God put it, ordained it that way. And when the sexual desires start rising in you, the easiest way to sort it out in a godly manner is in a family setup.
Okay.
So this is where now the genesis of you thinking about starting a family comes. Okay. So when you tell me you fear because what is happening among young people and you think that not getting married is a solution, it's not a solution because one, either to lead you to a life of fornication and adultery, or to introduce you to masturbation and that becomes your lifestyle, or you deviate now towards LGBTQ. Because anytime you try to deviate from God's plan, you get into a deeper crisis. So you don't fear getting married because other marriages fail. You get in saying, number one, I'm getting you not to fail.
Okay.
You have that confidence. And that's also why sometimes you see, like now we can have such a discussion of family court. Because the tragedy of life, many people do things without any preparation. You get married because you think you are of age. And even when you are dating there, you are with your girlfriend, the things you are discussing are things that are immature because you don't know what to discuss. You are there discussing sweet nothings. You know, Andrew, what is sweet nothings? Sweet nothings, there are those times that you think that the conversation is very sweet. You can be there with your male friends or with girls and you are laughing and you are so happy up past midnight. And you are just laughing and enjoying the day. But if I ask you, Andrew, what were you discussing yesterday with the baby? You tell me, no, we had a nice time. What are you saying? You can't tell me because it was sweet, but it was nothing. So that time that you're out there with your girl and what you are discussing is how her eyes are blue and how you like her legs. Those are not the main issues in life.
Okay.
We'll discuss that when we become discussing about courtship and marriage and how to pick a right partner. But what I'm saying is, what you have seen out there, the fact that others have failed does not mean that you don't attempt.
Okay.
Yes, because people used to get F's in school. Did you stop going to school because other people failed?
No.
You put more effort.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I would say. You don't have to fear this life because so and so is single, and you think that
yours will be the same.
Yeah, you don't need to have that fear.
So, family coach. My other question is, what if someone wants to be single and doesn't want to have a family? Is it bad in God's eyes?
That one wants to be single.
Single, yes. Doesn't want to have a
family. He doesn't want to have a family.
Yes.
For his own selfish reasons.
Maybe yes or no. Just wants to be single.
Just wants to be single. You see, number one, you have to look at it from what? Okay. Selfishness. Because you tell me you want to be single. If your dad, your mom was single, would you come into existence?
No.
So, number one, when God created Genesis 1:28, God says, multiply and replenish the earth. When you choose to be single, what are you saying?
You don't want to multiply.
Contrary to God's word, because God says multiply. And you have decided, according to you, you are not going to multiply. Okay. And the basically is because of selfishness. There is no other reason why you tell me you want to be single. It's just because you want, it's about me, I and myself. Everything is about me, I and myself. And so you think that another person coming will disorganize your life. But even as you say you want to be single, number one, is your body okay? Because if you say choose you want to be single, are you going to have any sexual relation? Because if you are going to seek any sexual relation, then you are outside God's plan. If you have decided to be celibated, you never relate with a woman, the first question will be, is it that naturally you are oriented that way or you are making it as a thing? And how are you going to satisfy that need? So unless it's a medical condition, and even if it's a medical condition, marriage is not just about sex. Okay. There is the issue of companionship. Because God says, it is not fit for man to be alone. That's God. So if God says it's not good for you to be alone, and then you decide you want to be alone, are you in God's plan? So there is no justifiable reason why you want to say, I've chosen to be sick. It's just selfishness.
Oh, okay.
That one I will say, just selfishness. And you see two things here. You know, you're asking whether, no, God is love. Human is selfish. So when God comes in, removes selfishness. If you learn to share and coexist. Because you cannot tell me you chosen that way. What if your parents did the same? And then, talking from a Christian perspective, God said it's not good for one to be alone. And God said, multiply.
Okay, yes, very good family coach. So, because we've talked about singlehood for a lot of time,
yes.
Let's jump to another question.
Yes.
Because we're going to speak a lot about family.
Yeah.
Do you think, for those who are starting to have a family right now, or they are thinking of starting a family, do you think there is hope in this current modern world right now we are in, with all the way family is not working out?
There is hope. Marriage works. And it's going to continue to work. Because it's in God's ideal plan. It works. But we will challenge. And you cannot say that it will not have challenges. You know, the problem we have, number one, we have a generation that doesn't believe in fixing things. They believe in changing things. You know, when we started, you know, we would, let me take you back to the last century, before the introduction of the tractor. When our parents were making some wooden sticks for digging.
Okay.
If it would get broken, they would repair. But they learned how to repair them. There were those days that even the food repairs for radios and TVs was a very good thing. Everybody was doing it. They were making money. We are moving to a level where if your phone gets broken, you don't want to repair it. Okay. You want to buy another one. A generation that does not believe in repairing things. It is, you know, your phone has a problem, you throw it away, you buy another one. Your TV has a problem, you don't take it to the food, you buy another one. So we are a generation that does not believe in fixing things. And so if there is a challenge in the marriage, instead of fixing it, one thinks of opting out.
Okay.
And that's why you are saying about challenges. Because even our forefathers had challenges in their marriages.
The marriages.
But they used to repair it and they used to work. They would even bring other people together so that they can have it work.
Okay.
But now, today, we have a generation that does not believe in making it work. If it is not working, they opt out. Number two, if they go for help, they go looking for help in the wrong forums.
Okay.
Because I have told you, no, it's good to pray. But you find when somebody has a family issue, somebody is telling you, let's pray about it, let's pray about it. Yeah, it's good to pray, but let me tell you this, Andy. Prayer does not replace duty.
Okay.
Have you heard me say my name?
Prayer does not replace duty.
Prayer does not replace duty. It's very crucial you get that.
Okay.
There is a part of prayer, and there is your diligent use. You know, church and pastors are offering a solution of let's pray.
Okay.
But no, it's not every. Yeah, it's good to pray, but there is a duty you have to do before on top of praying. And you even need to know where you are going for this help. You see, when families have an issue and they want to seek help, where are they going to seek help? Who told you that your pastor is a family counselor? Because the fact that he has done theology does not mean he is a family expert. Some have not even done theology. Somebody just looks at and thinks I'm a pastor. And then you go there for guidance and things to do with the family. And so you mess up. Others, you are going to your peers, like that guy who married 1 year before you. Of course, no marriage is the same, but you know, you need professional advice.
So.
You need professional guidance. This is where family coaches come in. But you don't want to invest in it. So one, you don't want to seek a family coach because you may be asked to. Okay? So you want free things. And then you want to ask your friends the way they have done it. Now, when you go to ask Joshua how he has handled his marriage, sometimes what he is dealing with is not what you are dealing with. But it works when you invest with it time, resources, and everything. And your heart is into it. Remember, I have said it's a lifetime commitment. And God's ideal marriage was to teach us, number one, unconditional love. Unconditional love. Number two, it is to teach us perseverance. You have to persevere. So if you do it in the right way and you understand the true reason, it can work very well. Because you know that what you are dealing with, there is perseverance and forgiveness. No, let me surprise you. In a family setup, it is one thing that teaches us very well the plan of salvation.
Okay.
God gave us marriage so that it can be an object lesson to teach us about unconditional love and the plan of salvation. Because God loves us unconditionally. Well, the day we'll be talking about parenting and children, let me ask you. Your parents wanted you to be a bright boy. Let's go back to that time when you were in class 8 or class 7. Your dad came to school and you are position 42 out of 44. And your neighbor's son was position 1. Who did your parents go home with? The neighbor or you? But you are 42 out of 42. What was the desire of your parents? Number 1 or number 42?
Number 1.
But what does he take home?
42.
Why? Because you are his son. You are not his son because of good behavior. True or false?
So.
You have a brother who is a drunkard and a drug addict. Do you think your mother does not love you?
She does.
She does. And he refused to go to school. He doesn't work, but he is served food. And he comes back home there because that is home. It is not about the behavior. It is about the belonging.
Okay.
You are a son of God, not because of your behavior, but because you are God's son. So when you understand that, then you can now take it from there and know it can work when we put in the right effort.
Oh, very good. Very good. As we wind up, let's come to the end of this episode.
Yes, I know.
What can you say if someone wants to start a family? What does the future hold?
The future is bright for one who wants to start a family. But I want to say this. For you to ride a motorbike, you need a driving license. For one to teach a kindergarten, you need an EFD certificate. What are the qualifications to get married? For one to think of starting a family, you should also think, what are the qualifications? You see, what are the qualifications? Is it having a beard or having a job at the house? Is it because a woman has heat, a girl has heat, and the birth is coming up? You need to go deeper and ask the right questions and know what you are looking for. And as I have said, pick from Eden. You are a young man and you want to get married. When God wanted to start a family, what did he start with? He did not start with Adam and Eve. He started by creating a garden. He did the Garden of Eden. He prepared the environment where a man would want to come and live. Now, today, after you want to get married and you are still in your mother's house, you are still in that home, and you want to get, where are you bringing this woman? Where is your Eden? Have you created a garden, an Eden, where this woman is going to come? Because God did not start by marriage. He started by creating a garden. I'm not saying you must be very financially stable, but at least you should have an environment where you are bringing this person. And then ask the relevant questions. The person that you are going to get married. I have seen in family discussions, and we are going to discuss this later when we'll be dealing with the courtship and marriage. I've seen people getting married. And you ask them in the day of the wedding, you ask a gentleman, if God blesses you, how many children would you want to have? He says 2. You ask the girl separately, how many children would you want to have? She says 6. What does that tell you?
Difference.
Very huge difference. You know, what's your perspective on family planning? What's your perspective on family planning? You find this gentleman is saying, me, I don't believe in family planning. And the woman believes in family planning, they are going to get married. So you can tell there will be a class.
Yeah.
What you are thinking about in laws. You know, Andrew comes from a background where they have lived in communism. So Andrew believes that brothers and sisters are welcome in his house. He is getting married to Lucy, who has grown up in a single family, and Lucy believes that no stranger should come into the house, and he believes your brother is a stranger. You have never discussed that. So what will happen when you get married? You start trashing the one, because when you are quoting, instead of asking relevant questions, you are discussing about your eyes, your hair, and how much you love the person.
The sweet nothing.
The sweet nothing. So invest in the relationship before you get married. And ask the relevant question. And if you don't know what to look for, then seek help. Seek some courtship lessons. Learn, because I told you, you can't take a motorbike without a driving license because you will crash. That's why many marriages are crashing.
Well said, family coach. Well said. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Andrew.
Join us the next episode with my friend, family coach.
Thanks, viewers. We want to thank you for joining us, and feel free to share, raise your questions. Focus of Eden is a program that will come questions, suggestions, so that we can make it better, because it's an interactive session where we want to go back to Eden and look at life and see whether our families can be better. Thank you. Okay.